Welcome to AIC Radio. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming an exceptional guest, the creative mind, Mr. Jack Jan, a chef whose work blends culinary innovation with wellness, culture, and bold flavor. His philosophy goes far beyond cooking, shaping food as an experience and lifestyle. Mr. Jack, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Thank you so much. Please tell us what got your passion into cooking because we have seen and heard a lot about you. You have worked in Michelin star restaurants, you're all around the world. So, what inspires this passion?
I went to culinary school like most kids do when they don't know what to do with their life. And then I rolled into a cooking competition. It was a national cooking competition called Skills. And I did really good there. I placed in the finals and then I went to the World Championships there. And I had a lot of fun and that kind of fired me up to become a really good chef. So that's how I got into like the fine dining kind of cooking, I'd say.
You have been very humble in your explanation because we have seen so much impressive dishes, etc., from you and your flavor, which is very bold. But do tell us for our legal-minded viewers that have you ever worried about someone stealing your recipe? How do you protect your recipes from an intellectual property standpoint?
It's a controversial thing to talk about, but I think it's a very good thing that people steal your recipes. First of all, it's like a compliment, right? If they steal your recipe, they're saying that you did something that's good, so it's worth copying. And then the second is if people start copying you, they will also create new stuff with it. So it just advances all of the culinary to a better degree, right? Which is something that I really like. So I think stealing recipes or using recipes from other people, as long as you put your own twist in it, it's a completely fine thing.
Definitely, because in your
Actually, I think it's a really good thing.
true. Like we have seen in your dishes that you always put your own spin, even on very classical dishes, which sets them apart. In the kitchen, what do you think is the biggest skill a chef should have? Is it communication with his brigade, or in running a restaurant during dinner service? What do you think is the most important skill that you have learned a chef should have?
I think, well, there's multiple, but I would say the most important would be working organized. Right? You need to know when to do something, why to do it at that time, and how to do it at that time. So if you're really organized, those things are very easy to keep in check. Most kitchens that I see, they don't have that, right? They don't use, let's say, a timer for something, or they don't use a temperature probe for their meat or something, right? So it becomes more of a guessing game, which doesn't work in the long run because you cannot guess everything correctly. It's just not going to work.
Consistency is key, and that is one thing we've also seen in your food that you're very consistent. So, how was your experience in Pakistan, working in a Pakistani kitchen? What do you think of the work ethic here? How should we improve? Because definitely
Uh,
there is something to improve.
Yes, for sure. I mean, the equipment, first of all, it's not the same kind of equipment that I'm used to, which I wouldn't say that's necessarily a problem. You can work around that. But the main problem is the amount of people that are working in a kitchen, right? Let's say the kitchen that I worked at right now, it's very small. It's a small kitchen, but they have around 8 or 9 people working in that kitchen at one time. That doesn't work. If you have 2 people standing in that kitchen or 3 people, the kitchen would be more efficient, it would work faster, and it would also work way cleaner. There's just too many things going on at the same time. Well, they're doing a lot of things, but they're doing really nothing in the end. There's too many people. That's my main problem with the Pakistani kitchen.
Very well observed, and I hope Pakistani restaurants are listening and take notes for further improvement. How about food safety, especially in Pakistan? If what can you suggest about food safety? Taking care of food allergies, cross-contamination, etc. Have you ever thought about, I should have a disclaimer in my restaurant or in my kitchen for customers that, we are not responsible for this. Do you think such a thing could work?
Uh, I wouldn't say not responsible because the kitchen in the end is responsible. But a good kitchen, let's say, if you come in with a serious gluten allergy, right, like a real one, a good kitchen would just tell you, like, we cannot cook food for you. That's just impossible. We have gluten in the restaurant. It's going to have some traces of gluten, right? It's just going to happen. So a good restaurant, in my opinion, would just decline those guests,
Very well, sir.
even if they maybe don't like it, right? It's the
True.
most responsible thing to do.
That's a very good observation. And what is your view on supplier contracts? Have you ever had any issues when dealing with suppliers, especially from a legal standpoint? Or what contractual term would you like to see when buying from suppliers, like about the freshness of the produce? Um, have you ever had any bad experience with any supplier? Or do you
For
prefer to
sure. Everyone has those.
I'm guessing
So
you prefer to source the food yourself to make sure you have the
yes,
best of ingredients
yes.
for your.
Normally, yes. But of course, sometimes things you cannot do that. So meat or fish is a very difficult thing to source correctly because fish, if it doesn't come in fresh, then it's already going to be kind of ruined for the rest of the week. And sometimes it comes in like, let's say you order a fillet of fish, but they rupture one of the organs, then the whole fillet of the fish is going to be, let's say, stained with a yellow color or something, which just isn't nice. So there's a lot of like those small kind of things. Also, if you order a kilo of beef, maybe they will only bring you like 900 grams of beef, something like that, right? So there's like small things that you have to check always. But if you do, you can just send it back to them and they will give you a new one. So
True.
there's ways to fix it.
Unfortunately, in Pakistan, with suppliers, we have some issues that if you send back, they will ghost you rather than giving back to another one. But good to know about that. So, you grew up. I'm guessing you grew up in the Netherlands. You've worked in French
Yes.
restaurants. You've worked in other places in the world as well, including Pakistan. From each of the main cuisines that you have worked, what is the one thing that you love about that particular cuisine, and what is the one thing that you would like to see people do differently in that cuisine? Maybe take one or two or three.
Yeah, sure. So the thing that I really like about the first cuisine where we used to work was France. So French cuisine, it's very straight to the point, right? If you cut a brunoise, which is small cubes, they're very precise about that. So they want it exactly to be half a centimeter by half a centimeter. So the precision is really, really, really high end there. That's really nice to see because it gives you a really good base. So I would also, this is something that I say, if you're becoming a chef, go work in France. Or if you have the opportunity, go work in France, learn the language, learn the basics, because they just have the basics under control. And then the other cuisine that I really like is Danish food, where it's kind of the opposite. It's not as precise, but they are very precise with some of the things they do. One of the things that they're known for is fermenting, which is also something that I really like to do. It's quite a simple thing. It's just fermenting just means that it's going out of date, right? So it's just going bad. But to be able to control that to still make it something really nice, like one of my favorite things is when you take sweet potatoes and you juice them, you add 2% of salt to the weight of the juice and you let it stand for 9 months. Then you get this liquid that's just sweet potato juice, but it tastes exactly like ketchup. So it's very strange. You can make some really weird stuff with fermenting. So that's really something that I love about the Nordic cuisine.
And what about, have you ever, in your time in Pakistan, get a chance to try out Pakistani cuisine? What thing would you
Yes,
prefer,
for
and what
sure.
would you change?
So I think flavor-wise, you guys are incredible, right? You guys are cooking some really flavorful food. I think it's too spicy for me as a Westerner, but that's just my opinion. I don't think you need to change that. But something that I think is really annoying, let's say you have a mutton karahi or any other kind of karahi, right?
Mhm.
There's small shards of bone in there because they chop the meat and then the bones they break and then you get small pieces of bone in there, which is very annoying. So
Yes,
there's like the loss of
safety.
precision, I would say.
Yeah, it could also be a food safety hazard, especially in Europe if somebody
Right, for sure. If you
most
that could break your intestines.
true. So last question to you would be that how was your time in Pakistan? Would you ever like to visit again? Because we miss your food already. And so many other people do as well who got a chance to taste it. So how was your experience and would you visit again?
Yeah, for sure. The plan is already to come back in January this year. And the idea why I'm in Pakistan is because I'm actually opening my own restaurant. I want to open in my own restaurant in Islamabad or in Lahore.
Wow.
And yeah, I would say that's about
This
it. So
would be
yes,
a
I'm coming
breaking
back
news
and
for us.
something that
Well, we're so excited to hear
yes.
that this may be on the plans. So
Yes,
congratulations
yes,
in
it's
advance for
this is definitely going on. We're already talking to different places about it, so
that.
it will happen. It will take some time, but it will happen.
This
And
will,
then something that I really, really like about Pakistan is the people are incredibly friendly to a point where it's almost self-destructive, right? if I would walk down the street and I would ask someone like, I don't have a place to sleep tonight, they would let me into their house and they would let me sleep in their house for like no questions asked, basically, which is incredibly strange but incredibly nice as well. So that's
Thank you
something I
so
really
much
like.
for the kind words. And lastly, any words in Dutch for our Dutch viewers about your experience in Pakistan, if you would like to tell in your own native language.
Ja, sure. Nee, de mensen in Pakistan zijn hartstikke vriendelijk. En ik weet dat er in Europa een erg groot stigma achter zit. Dat mensen die zien Pakistan en die denken dat het een beetje een aparte plek is. Maar dat is totaal niet zo. Mensen daar die zijn super lief, super welkomend. That's it.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you for your time. It's been a wonderful experience in hearing about your passion and experiences. And thank you for sharing your thoughts with our viewers. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem. Thank you a lot for having me on.